Somebody around the river. Our opening song today is River of Love, and it's going to feature Will on a duet and the choir. I see a wall of gray where the dark is on and I need a light, but love's the way I'll find. I see a wall of blue, I know the faith I'll need when I'm loving you inside a storm of fear.
If we don't remember, then love alone lights our soul. If we don't remember, then love alone brings us home. On the river of love, I'll reach to you. On the river of sorrow, I'll know your fears. On the river of rain, I'll dry your tears. And on the river of life, I'll have you near. On the river of love.
On the road where I stood so long ago, when I knew your soul, I'm holding on, but faith, well, it comes and goes. Can I touch without the need to hold? Will I know love when I let you go?
If we don't remember, then love alone lights our soul. If we don't remember, then love alone brings us home. On the river of love, I'll reach to you. On the river of sorrow, I'll know your fears. On the river of rain, I'll dry your tears. And on the river of life, I'll have you near. On the river of love, I'll reach to you. On the river of sorrow, I'll dry your tears. On the river of rain, I'll know your fears. And on the river of life, I'll have you near. On the river of love. On the river of love. On the river of love.
Up next is my dear friend Meg Rain, and Meg is an awesome artist here, and she's a great support in dark times. We're really, really psyched to have her on today. She's bringing us on that peace train.
We have Andy on drums. Welcome, Andy. Filling in for our own Steve, who's got a little bug today, so we send light and love to Stevie Chigueras. Yeah. Go on the peace train. Woo!
There's a train coming, rolling down the track, calling all the people, calling us back to love. could you just take your place? You drop your bags and celebrate love. This whole human race in love. 'Cause it's a train that's got us back to love. Come on, it's a peace train. Get on board, peace train. Everybody's dancing on the peace train. Hallelujah, the peace train. Woo, woo, it's a peace train. Find us back to love. Oh, it's a peace train. Find us back to love. Tell us about it, Keith. Don't need no ticket, you just take your place. You drop your bag and you celebrate love. Whole human race in love. 'Cause it's a train that's got us back to love. Oh, it's a peace train. Come on, get on board. Peace train. Everybody's dancing on the peace train. Hallelujah, the peace train. Woo, woo, it's a peace train. Find us back to love. Yes, it is. Oh, it's a peace train. Find us back to love. One more time. 'Cause it's a peace train. Find us back to
All right, well, stay standing if you're comfy and grab the hand of the person next to you. This is surely the presence.
Let us pray. The presence of the Lord is in this place indeed because you are here. It is through each and every one of us standing here holding hands, those of us viewing online. It is through each and every one of us that God is made visible. It is through your acts of love and service and kindness and compassion that we know that God's love is real. So today we come together to celebrate that, to honor that, to lift that up. As we stand here in the midst of changing seasons, we honor our own evolution, our own inner growth, our own inner expansion. We know we are on the journey to unfold in more and more of the divine in, through, and as us. This is why we are here. This is the only reason we're here. For God. And so we let it be. Amen and amen. You may be seated. Good morning. Welcome to Unity on the River on this beautiful, brisk fall day. Leaves are changing color. I wore this is the closest I could get to all the color changing leaves shirt. And as I like to say here at Unity on the River, if we really truly want to see the face of the divine, we simply need to look at the face of another person. It is through them that God is made real. So turn to someone, say, God looks good today. God looks good today. And God looks especially good in this wonderful, I like to call her the epitome of joy. Mickey.
Yes, thank you. Good morning. Oh, that's good. That's a good segue because I'm so grateful to be up here. I'm so grateful to serve this church. I'm so grateful for all of you. This is a selfish act I do when I come up here because I love it so much. I hope I can bring you all joy today, no matter where you're at. So, welcome to Unity on the River. And I want to say welcome to the streamers. Hi, streamers. Hopefully we've got folks that's working. That's good. Thank you, Jay, for that. I know Jay spent some time trying to troubleshoot a few weeks back. Also, is anybody here new for the first time? Raise your hand. We have a welcome packet right over here in the middle, right over there. We have a welcome packet for you. We have a flower for you. That flower gets you 10% in the bookstore. This bookstore has some fabulous stuff in it, so please take a look. Also, there's a spiritual center, our spiritual resource center. If you have any questions about our facility, about our practices, or anything that might be in your packet, there's folks out there you can talk with. Your being here just lifts us, so thank you so much for being here. I wore my angel shirt today. Do I look like an angel? Unity on the River is a center of celebration, transformation, inspiration, spirit-centeredness, oneness, and joy. Let's hold these truths in our heart as we say together our vision and mission. One thing I realize is I try to go out throughout the week and bring this with me. So I'm going to try really hard this week to take this into my heart and try to bring it out for the rest of the world. So here's our mission statement. We are a vibrant spiritual community that celebrates the presence in all and awakens humanity to its divinity. And our vision statement. Centered in love, we joyously co-create a world of oneness, peace, and harmony. And we need that right now, oneness. We definitely need that. So I have some announcements for this afternoon. There's going to be an amazing thing happening this afternoon at noon. Dr. Roxanne DeLeo, can you please stand up? Dr. Roxanne DeLeo is with us today. She will be hosting a workshop after the service titled Out of the Blue. It's a new kind of movie viewing designed to take you out of the blue and into 3 strategies to calm down from everyday stressors. Does everybody have stress? Anybody here not have stress? Oh, good for you, Mark. I believe it. I actually believe it, Mark. I'm going to come see you afterwards. School anxiety, getting to sleep, family challenges. Anybody? Family challenges, Mark? All right. Figure something, yeah. Peer pressure, high emotions in the house. I think this all touches every one of us. So if you can stay, it's at noon today, Out of the Blue. It's an important event. It's definitely, if you have your family with you, bring them. It's a $5 love donation suggested. There's also a table with children's CDs, and Roxanne will be out there right after service for any questions that you might have. Thanks, Roxanne. Next week, Dr. Raymond Anderson will be our guest speaker. There'll be more information about him coming. And then please join us as we celebrate the life of John Davy this Friday. Yeah. John, Irene and David are here. Much love, Irene. Love. This Friday, 2 o'clock. Right here at Unity on the River. Our artist of the month, Nancy Reese, is right out in the gallery. Oh, hi, Nancy. I'm sorry. Yes. And this is Nancy. She's actually in here. She's not out there. Nancy, could you go out there? No. Just kidding. We all know Nancy. Nancy also was part of a group that planted over 200 bulbs in our meditation garden. Thank you. With some other folks. Nancy, she's always doing something to make this place look beautiful. So her work is out in the artist gallery. And then now it's time when we say, I see you, with either a handshake or a hug. Let's see. I invite you to say, I see you, I see your beauty, I see your magnificence, I see the divine in you. And one of my favorite people in the world, as well as one of my favorite Unity artists, is here now to sing for us, our very own Meg Rain.
Well, it's time to let go of everything. Surrender. All the debts you never paid. That's my favorite line. There we go. Take a breath with me. Surrender, 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 let go. Surrender, surrender. Surrender, let go. All the ways that you appear, all the losses that you fear, everything you thought you knew, all the doingness of you, let go. Everything you've done before, your accomplishments and more, all the roads you've traveled on will be stardust, will be gone, let go. Abandon yourself to the only one. Abandon yourself. Abandon yourself to the only one. Abandon
all the longing to be right, all the wars you need to fight, all the plans that you have made, all the debts you never paid. Let go. Your body and your mind, all the jewels you hope you'll find. Nothing left to hold on to, just the love that passes through. Let go. Abandon yourself to the only one. Abandon yourself. Abandon yourself to the only one. Abandon yourself to surrender. Join us. Surrender. Surrender. Let go. Surrender. Thank you. Christine Malpica has joined us on accompaniment.
Thank you, Meg. So about 10 years ago, I started my journey in ministerial school, seminary. And as I was going through seminary, I became abundantly clear about one thing. I was not going to be a church minister. I didn't want to deal with budgets and spreadsheets. I didn't want to deal with contentious board meetings. We don't have those boards. Board's cool. Board's fun. Join the board. Hashtag join the board. I didn't want to deal with the drama and craziness of congregants, and I love you all, but sometimes, it's drama. I didn't want to deal with the responsibility. I didn't want to deal with it. So upon leaving seminary, I embarked on my rock star preacher tour. I was that funny, humorous, tell it like it is minister who would go into churches for a Sunday, give a great, hilarious talk, make people laugh, call out people on stuff, stir up a lot of trouble, and then just get on the plane and fly home. Let them deal with the aftermath. And it was going well. People loved me. I had engagements every Sunday of the year, pretty much. I was doing a lot of flying, I'd land. Somebody would pick me up, go put me in a hotel somewhere, buy me dinner. I was like, it's cool. I like this. So it was fun. I was having a good time. But I couldn't help realize that there was still a little something that wasn't like nailing it. I was having a great time, but there's still a little something there I was like, this is probably what comes with the territory. It's all good. Turns out that when you are a fairly unknown, just getting into the Rockstar Preacher Tour, they don't pay you a lot. Who knew? So to help supplement my income, I became a part-time minister. It was the Unity of Gaithersburg. My late wife Jennifer was the minister there, so I started putting in some hours there. And then I started dealing with all those things that I talked about as to why I didn't want to become a church minister. But then I also realized something in doing that, was that I really loved it. I really loved it. And I was beginning to feel, for the first time, a little more fulfilled in this career as a minister. So then I started thinking to myself, well, why is this working for me? And as much fun as the Rockstar Preacher Tour was, why wasn't that working for me as well? And I loved doing that as well. I mean, I wouldn't have found this place if it wasn't for that. You were part of my tour. Biggest fans, yay, love you. But then I realized why. So I had to go back. I had to go all the way back to why I said I didn't want to be a church minister. I went through all those lists of reasons, but it took me a little while to realize the true reason I didn't want to become a church minister. I was afraid to fall in love with people and then lose them. I was afraid of that, and I was doing my best to avoid putting myself in that position. And it has come up for me these last couple weeks so powerfully. Not just with Cheryl and with John. This morning I spoke to Sandy Wing. I don't know if you guys know who Sandy is. Her partner John passed away last night. And John was not a regular Sunday morning attendee, but he supported Unity on the River in many ways. Whenever we had events, he'd be here for concerts and stuff like that. And Sandy was all in here. So it was another occasion of, feeling that thing I was trying to avoid. And this week I was struggling. With what am I going to talk about? We're in the midst of this, Adventures in Faith, Zen Commandments, and I'm reading through the chapters for this week, and nothing is jumping out at me. 2 chapters that probably should have taken me at best 45 minutes to read was taking me 2 hours to read because my mind was just pulled away with all these feelings and emotions coming up. And then I hit this one paragraph. It's one of the last paragraphs in the section that we had to read for this week, in the chapter that says, "Be devoted." Perhaps the highest form of devotion is that which dispenses with all overt devotional forms and embraces everything we do. To do this authentically, to have your heart, your innermost core, fixed on the infinite is a gradual, delicate process. The most effective approach is service, which combines the open-hearted appreciation of devotion with the razor-sharp alertness necessary to see that our action is useful. The most effective approach is service. And a few days ago, when I was reading this and I read that sentence, I broke down into tears because the 2 people that we lost recently, Cheryl and John, were the embodiment of service for this community. They were the embodiment of service. And when I read this, I was like, thanks, God, you can make me get in front of people and cry today. Awesome. But I'm getting up and sharing authentically with you that I am sad. That my heart is sad this week with the loss of these 2 beautiful people who gave so much to this community. And it was so funny that one of the last things John said to me was to call me out on the fact that he realized I'm still, in many ways, trying to avoid the very thing that I said I didn't want to become a minister about, which is loving you people. Loving you fully, open-heartedly, unabashedly, vulnerably. This is my journey. This is why I am here with you all. I'm not here because I want to have a great church and stand in front of people every Sunday and have my talk streamed all over the place and people watch them and tell me how awesome I am. That's great too. Nothing builds you up like people telling you that. But I realize that why I'm here to be a minister is to learn how to love. To learn how to love. John and Cheryl showed us how to do that in the way they served this community, the way they volunteered, the way they gave up their time, the way they loved us, the way they loved me. I was going to say all this Friday at John's service, but I thought I'd get it out of the way now. Thought I would get it out of the way. And I didn't know you guys were going to be here today because I was like holding it together great. David and Irene, John was their father. and I was holding it together great. And then I saw you guys. Oh, wow. But sometimes we have to have these moments. We have other people who are part of our family who are struggling right now with their health and you know, we don't know what that outcome is going to be. And here's the thing, though. The thing is that we know spirit is eternal. We know that these mortal bodies are, you know, we're going to shed them at some point. We don't know how. We don't know when. But it doesn't take away from the feelings that we have. We know spirit is eternal. John, around the time he was passing away, apparently his spirit decided to go on a little rock star tour of his own. He visited a few people to let them know, hey, I'm moving on. It's okay, I love you. You know, a handful of you told me about your experiences with him in that regard. I remember I called someone in particular because they said, keep me informed with John's progress. And when I found out he passed away, and I called her and he said, hey, just want to let you know John passed away. She said, oh, yeah, I know. I was like, okay, well, how did you know? The family just told me. Oh, yeah, he came to see me a couple hours ago and let me know. It's like, that's awesome. That's sweet. Thanks for the heads up, but that's awesome. The thing I think Cheryl and John knew that they tried to demonstrate for us is the only thing that matters in this world is how we love ourselves and how we love each other. Like, that's the only thing that ultimately matters. All the other stuff is incidental. The only thing that really, truly matters is how we love ourselves and how we love each other. And the best way to love each other is through serving each other. Being in service. Dean wrote about it. We read about it in the Bible as well. Galatians 5:13-14. For you were called to freedom, brothers and sisters. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for self-indulgence, but through love become servants to one another. For the whole law is summed up in a single commandment: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Our spiritual freedom, when we shed all the mental and emotional baggage we've been carrying and we step into that place of true inner freedom, it's pointless if we don't use it to love each other and serve each other. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, everyone can be great because everyone can serve. You don't have to have a college education to serve. You don't even have to make your subjects and verbs agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace. A heart full of grace. That's all you need to serve. And when you serve, your heart becomes more filled with grace. we had our men's retreat last weekend, and John's absence was profound. It was profound. And we were talking about the gala's coming up. By the way, buy your gala tickets today, please. Buy your gala tickets. Gala's coming up, November 11th. Thank you, just testing, see, make sure you know. I swear I will remember that date and I will show up. November the 11th, our annual gala. Great theme, elevate and celebrate, and you know, we have a whole committee, but I'm pulling an audible and informally dedicating this year's gala to John and Cheryl because they would want us to celebrate them. So buy your gala tickets, come celebrate with us. And it's common for different ministry teams here to put together some baskets that we can auction off. So we were at the men's retreat, and we sat and we talked about what we would do for the gala, putting together a basket. I said, you know, can we pull something together? And David, and I hope you don't mind me sharing the story. I didn't ask. I'm asking now. You're good? All right, cool. Breaking one of my own rules, ask before you share their story. Okay, so I asked. David said, you know, I've got an idea. As you know, John was a craftsman. He wasn't just a woodworker. He was a craftsman. And apparently he had the basement full of tools to demonstrate that. And what David said is, I've already thought about putting together some of John's tools as, you know, the beginnings of a basket. Although we're men, so we're bringing a crate. This is basket stuff. We're bringing a crate of some of John's tools to auction off. And that's perfect. You know, you've heard me say this before. John was 94, and I mean, up to weeks ago, he was here with Jim McQuaid, still fixing stuff here. He was, what's that? Yeah, he was serving us. He was getting ready to go to Unity Village in a few weeks. The prayer chaplains and myself are going to go for a Nehemiah retreat. And if you don't know what the Nehemiah retreat is, a few years ago, another minister friend of mine who passed away a few years ago, he was basically the maintenance supervisor for Unity Village. And at this time, the village was low on funds and high on repairs. And he said, I have a great idea. Why don't we have some retreats? And they're going to be like next to nothing, low-cost retreats that people who've always wanted to come to the village, but the expense of staying here was prohibitive. They can come, and essentially, we'll put them to work. Let them help us do some of these repairs and some of this maintenance that we haven't been able to afford to hire people to do. And it was a phenomenal success. I mean, when it started, those first few years, you had to get on a 1-year waiting list to get yourself there. I mean, it was just unbelievable how many people realized Unity Village. And if you've never been to Unity Village, it's Unity's headquarters in Lee Summit, Missouri, outside of Kansas City. If you've never been there, I invite you to go. It is, we don't really have a Mecca, but if there's a Mecca that Unity movement would have, that's it. It is this absolute pristine, gorgeous place. It's where the seminary is. It's where Silent Unity is housed. If you ever called the 24-hour prayer line, the Daily Word magazine, that's where all that's created. It's just a beautiful place and a testament to the abundance teachings of unity. This place construction started and was underway during the height of the Depression. And people were saying, the founders, the Fillmores, and one of their sons were the designers. They used to call it Fillmore's Folly, because who would be crazy enough in the height of the Depression to undergo this kind of construction? But they did, and they succeeded. So if you ever get the chance, please go there. But John loved it. I mean, he went on, how many of these Nehemiah retreats did he go on? 5? Yeah. And he was getting ready to go again. And he was so excited that, so many of us, the prayer chaplain team, so many of us were going to be there. And again, it was the epitome of service, because that's what he was going there to do, to serve the unity movement. Rabbi Nachman says, take note, everything can be a resource for serving God. Mahatma Gandhi said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Khalil Gibran, I slept and dreamt that life is all joy. I woke and saw that life is all service. I served and I saw that service is joy. Service is joy. And if you don't doubt service was joy, I don't know if you can remember the look of sheer radiant joy in Cheryl's face when she sang in the choir and would dance up and down these aisles. Service is joy. Our fifth unity principle is not enough to know the truth, we must live it. How do we live the truth of these other four principles? How do we live the spiritual freedom that we have attained through our hours of meditating and reading and being in classes? How do we do this? We don't just sit at home, folks. We got to love each other. And how do we love each other? We serve each other. We serve each other. In 2 weeks, November, I don't know why you don't want to get in November, November 5th, we're having a sacred service fair here. And all the different ministries that serve this community, we're going to have tables up, and we're going to invite those of you who have not yet found a place to serve here to come check out these tables and find a place to serve. Oh, by the way, it also happens to be National Donut Appreciation Day. So our sacred service fair will have a donut theme. There will be donuts. If you want to come dressed as a donut, by all means, get it, it'll be after Halloween, but so what? We won't judge. But don't serve here because the church needs you to. Serve here because you need you to. You need you to. Because this is how you exemplify your spirituality. It's not about coming to service every Sunday. Please do. It's not about how much you give on Sunday. Please do. It's not about the classes that you attend here. Please do. All those things are part of how we deepen, expand, grow in here. But how do we make it look what's in here, out here? We serve each other. And when we do it out here, when we serve each other, guess what happens in here? It takes us deeper. It expands us even more. It opens up our heart. And some of us don't want our hearts to open anymore because we know it might hurt. We know it might hurt. We may have been hurt before. Remember what I said forgiveness is? Not what I said. Desmond Tutu, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, when I was doing the Book of Joy, he said, forgiveness is releasing the desire for a different past. To be fully present here, to be open-hearted to the love that comes through serving each other. That is the true miracle. That is the true miracle. And know that when those who we love, whether they've transitioned and returned to the bliss of oneness, or they just no longer attend our community, but when they leave us, sure, we'll feel lost, but loss is not something, as I think we've learned, that's here to close us up. Loss is here to open us even more. It's here to open us even more, especially when those we lost showed us how to walk in love. But just in case, you don't want to do it for any of those reasons. Do it for the science. Do it for the science. Volunteering has been shown to decrease stress, stave off depression, extend your life. And interestingly enough, the research also shows that those benefits increase the older you are. So as we age, the more we volunteer, the better it is for us. So come for you. Serve for you. Do it for yourself. And honestly, if you're gonna feel better afterwards. But do it for love most of all. Love of yourself, love of your community. Lao Tzu writes, the highest truth cannot be put into words. Therefore, the greatest teacher has nothing to say. He simply gives himself in service and never worries. And Wayne Dyer, when you're able to shift your inner awareness to how you can serve others, and when you make this the central focus of your life, you will then be in a position to know true miracles in your progress towards prosperity. And to go back to the Bible, 1 Peter 4:8-10, above all, maintain constant love for one another. Be hospitable to one another without complaining. Like good stewards of the manifold grace of God, serve one another with whatever gift each of you has received. This is what it's all about. When you ask the question, why are we here? What's the meaning of life? What's it all about? This is what it's all about. It is the most important thing, and we need this more in our world, in our country, than ever before. Loving one another, not isolating out of fear and disgust and division and opposition. No, open up into love, open up into serving, open up so that you can be opened up here. So, as I walk through the sadness of loss last week and this week and for however long that's going to take, I remember again and again what these individuals taught me, which was to love with reckless abandon and to serve my spiritual community so that it will make me the highest and best version I could possibly be. So I say thank you to them. Thank you to them for being my teacher. Thank you for them for showing me the way. And thank you to all of you for doing the same. Let's take this in a meditation. So if you're comfortable, I'm going to invite you to plant both feet on the floor. Take a deep breath. If you're comfortable, gently closing your eyes. Settle into the chair and just breathe. Breathe into the heart. If it helps you to focus there, perhaps put a hand or both your hands over your heart space and breathe into that symbolic center of divine love that we are. Feel the love that this community has been blessed with through people like Cheryl and John. Make a commitment to honor their lives by doing what they taught us to do, which is to love through service. To love. Is to be God in action. To be God in compassion. To be God in kindness. To love is to serve. To serve is to love. And we are God's love. So as we sit for a few moments in the silence, I invite you to affirm, I am God's love. I live God's love. To yourself silently, I am God's love. I live God's love. I am God's love. I live as God's love. Can we have the prayer box? So for all the names and situations here in this prayer box, we hold that they remember the truth, that they too are God's love, and that everything in their life is an opportunity to live as God's love, to feel God's love, and an opportunity for us to serve them as God's love. And should you hold this intention for anyone else in your lives, I invite you to say their names out loud. In doing so, we pull them up into our love, knowing that there are opportunities for us to be God's love in their life. And so it is.
Rise up in me. Rise up with me. Rise up as me, sweet spirit. Oh God, God of my soul. Oh God, rise up in me. Rise up with me. Rise up as me, sweet spirit. Oh God, God of my soul. Oh God, rise up in me. Rise up with me. Rise up as me, sweet spirit. Oh God, God of my soul. Oh God, rise up with me. Rise up with me. Rise up as me, sweet spirit. Oh God, God of my soul. Oh God, rise.
Thank you. Thanks, Meg. Thank you, Reverend Ogun. Thanks for your vulnerability on that. That was really nice. So we're coming up to that time for our tithes and offerings. So as you prepare those, I'd like to introduce the prayer chaplains. If you could stand. These folks are here to sit and pray with you, whether it be something heavy in your heart or even a gratitude prayer. They're here for you right after service. Thank you so much. Also, we have a home and hospitality program. If you have somebody that's in hospital or at home and they need some prayer. I know Nancy, is anyone else one of the folks that does that? We have that for you folks as well, if you can see Nancy right afterwards. We also have a wonderful prayer box in the back. You can always write a prayer and submit it there. Those prayers are prayed over. And there's also a place online, I think, that you can submit a prayer as well. Prayer team, Silent Unity, will pray over all the requests. Silent Unity is also an awesome phone. I've called them at like 3 a.m, and they've really helped me. So they're always available. Never forget that as well. So now, as we hold our tithes and offerings, Let's say our affirmation together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
As we pick up the offering, just a couple more things I want to let you know. This Friday, yes, at 2 p.m. is John's memorial service. For those of you who may be unable to make it and would like to, we are going to live stream it, and it will be archived online. The family says they would love for us to do that, so you can check in with that at any time. Also, we mentioned that next week, Dr. Ray Anderson will be guest speaker. You may not have heard much about him, but he's a friend of mine from DC, and when I see him and his life experience, I often say I want to be him when I grow up. He's a fun speaker, a truly modern day Renaissance man, also a great tattoo lover. Probably won't see a lot of his tattoos when he's here, but and he's also a great like sci-fi comic book geek. Him and I are like, we're like buddies. So I'm really thrilled to get him up here. I'd wanted to get him up here earlier when it called at the beginning of the year. Like this date was the first date I can get him. So he's like that sought after. So please come out and support him next week. Also, you may be sitting there thinking, you know, Reverend Ogun, I was so moved by your talk. I don't want to wait 2 weeks for the Sacred Service Fair. How can I get involved now? So glad you asked. Head to our spiritual resource center, the counter out there in the bookstore. Heather will be there. Heather, stand and wave at the folk. Heather is going to be there, and I think Peter's going to be there for a chunk of time too, to show you what we have available for you to sign up for. And Heather also did an amazing job on our website. She created a page that just shows a lot of the events coming up and the places we could use some of your service, and you can sign up to join any of these things right there online. So Heather, thank you so much for that. She is, yeah. That whole organization, logistic piece of me in my brain that's just a big empty vacuum, she fills it right there. She is amazing when it comes to that stuff. So thank you for serving in that way. Let us bless the offering. So I invite you to go into your heart space, a place of love and abundance that you know that we are in the spiritual community. And we give thanks for these gifts, these demonstrations of truly the divine flow that we are. So whether you gave here in this building right now or you gave online, we are grateful. We know that as we give, we open ourselves to the abundant flow of the universe. And we, as a community, Unity on the River, we tithe on these gifts back into the Amesbury community, into the wider Unity movement. And we are so blessed. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. So we got to do a gala giveaway today because we are a couple weeks out from the gala. When's it again? November 11th. Tickets are on sale. I'm going to invite Carol up. Carol, again, one of my favorite people who love to serve and give. She's heading up our gala team. And can I talk about your new? So again, when we talk about like the sadness of loss, so Carol for months had been looking for a job. She was in my abundance class. She was like, can I tell that joke we had the other day when you were leaving? Do you even remember? Good, she doesn't remember. I'm going to tell it. So you know, her husband John, is John here? Here's John. So Carol took the Absolute Abundance class, and then John took it. And it was a few months ago, and Carol was like, the job isn't here yet. Like, you know, I'm doing all the stuff. Job isn't here yet. What's happening? And she was like, and I'm only a few weeks away from unemployment ending. To which I say, oh, good. So you still got a few weeks. Like, don't panic yet. You'll be awesome. Like, there's still time. And sure enough, she has found herself a new job. It's an awesome job. But wait, the new job is in Colorado. I'm like, oh, universe. You gotta be specific with the universe, but she's really excited about this new job and moving over there, and I'm excited for you about doing that. But the awesome thing was she goes like, but you know what? I'm still gonna make sure this gala happens before I go. And you guys are like leaving like the week after, right? Like the day after.
I'm leaving the day after. He'll be here through the end of the year.
Okay, so yeah, so like the day after the gala, she's heading out. So I mean, talk about like dedication and service and making sure things happen. So thank you, Carol.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
I just say I want to let you know this is not the gala uniform. You don't have to wear an orange vest to come to the gala. So don't worry about it. We want you to wear your best, enjoy getting dressed up and having a blast.
And if your best is an orange vest, do wear that. We're not telling you don't wear it. Go ahead.
But today we do have a free ticket giveaway. So if you open up your program, what do we call it?
Bulletin.
Bulletin. And see if you have a brown bear sticker on your program.
Yay, Barry!
Barry, come on. So Barry wins one free ticket to the gala.
Awesome.
And so just go over to the desk. Just go over to the desk and give him your name, and you'll be able to record that. So everyone else, please buy your tickets. We are only 3 weeks out, and we really need to know our counts and everything. So there are ticket sales available right outside in the hospitality area. You can do credit card purchases in the bookstore. They're available online and in the office. So we want to make sure we get those done soon. Now, some of you have asked about the ad book, and we've extended the deadline. We hope that you can get us your information by Tuesday evening at the latest, but if you see me afterwards, if you have business cards, we can take those, and that's only a $35 charge, so please come see me, because besides emptying my house and everything else going on, I have to have that guy over there do the program book, because he's our graphic artist, so we have to get that done as soon as possible. Also, any items that you want to donate for our silent auction or our raffle, I'm sure if you opened up your closet, which I've been opening up a lot of them, you're going to find all these brand new items that you've never used in your house that somebody else will love. Bring them in to the office, bring them in here, and we can use those for auction items. So, everybody has those. Bring your friends. If you're new to this community, you're all welcome. If you're not part of this community, you're welcome. So please come and buy your tickets. It's going to be a great time. And one thing I was pointed out this morning, was told, remember, this is a brand new venue that we're having with the most amazing food, and they're being really great with our choices and accommodating all of our dietary needs and whatnot, but the food is amazing. So you could talk to Ralph, you could talk to a few other people who have been here. It's at Michael's Function Room at the Phoenician Restaurant, not Michael's Harborside. So get ready for some really great time. So
Thank you. And if you're new to this community and really don't get what the gala's about, one of the things that I love about the gala are a lot of the experiences that people donate that we can auction off, including cruises on the river. Sharon's and her husband's got a boat. We do river cruises. I'll be donating, again, free room and board in Barbados.
which I went on last year.
Which they went on, so you can come down to Barbados for a few days with me. You get yourself there. Airfare is not included. But free room and board is, and personalized tours around the island with yours truly. We're doing that as well. I think Peter's donating some time for Mexico. Peter, our operations director, he does a lot of stuff in Mexico, and he's donated some time. So there's a lot of really cool live auction items. You have to be there to win and do the auction. And also, it's going to be a lot of fun. This is also how we also use the gala as a big fundraiser for our community as well. So this is one of the ways you can serve to help us be who we are. So please buy your tickets. I know some of you are waiting for well, I want to wait, see if I win. I understand that, and please buy your tickets nonetheless. And if you are in a financial place where you can buy a few extra tickets, what we do with those is we offer those up at a reduced price for other people who may not be able to afford the full cost. So this is your opportunity to be super duper generous as well. So get your gala tickets today. Mickey's got a few more people to thank.
I didn't get the memo on the orange vest thing. Sorry. So, yep, it takes so many people to make this service happen, people that genuinely serve and volunteer. Thank you so much for these folks. We have some angels that we'd like to just put a shout out to for this week. Cynthia, Joan, Mary, Nancy, and Susan. Jay. Everyone who donated goods to be transported to Puerto Rico. Teachable moment. Puerto Rico is part of the United States. Pass it on. Sorry, I had to. If you could pass that on for us, please. Sorry. David, Steve, Malik. God bless you, Malik. He's out there doing his thing. God bless him. Catherine, Judy. God bless you all. Also, some teams to highlight this week: Youth and Family Volunteers, Bookstore, and of course our office volunteers. Board members, can you please stand? Yes, we have the very wonderful board members here. Remember, board members are a service. They don't get paid. It's a big service, so something to think about if you'd like to be on the board. That time is coming up, I think. So guess what time it is? Is it your time, Brian? Oh, I'm sorry, Meg. I have a different song on here.
Time to shine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Meg is here to shine.
We do that by being of service to ourselves. We shine, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This wonderful music team. How about it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Weight of the illusion, we're lifting the veil. Finally wake up and lose the confusion and drink from the one holy grail and shine like the sun. Everybody shine like the sun. Not our darkness that frightens us. Who are we meant to be? Brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous. We're meant to fly free and shine like the sun. Come on, everybody shine like the sun. Let your light be a wonder to the world. You've got nothing to hide. Radiating the glory of your love. Turn yourself on. Turn yourself on.
Let's stay standing and welcome in the true shining lights, our children, youth, and family. Walk in as a light.
We are one.
Come over some more.
Namaste, everybody. Hello. So we had a really awesome day today. We talked about boundaries, so that was really cool. Few announcements. We are making like a email phone list for our YOU stuff. So even if you don't have your kiddos today, if you want to add your name to the list, just as reminders if we're doing stuff like next week, for example, we're going to have come in with their Halloween costumes. Would be awesome, so that would be cool. So make sure you remember to do that. But anyway, thanks.
Can we come in our Halloween costumes too?
Absolutely.
All right, there you go. You can come in our Halloween costume. Special shout out to a couple of our teens who are in Maryland this weekend for YOU rally. They should be wrapping that up soon and then bussing themselves back here to show up like 11 tonight or something. And God bless Becky for going to get them tonight. But yeah, that's who it is. Let's stand, take the hand of your neighbor, and affirm this truth for these children, for ourselves, for the entire world. Yes, it is peace on earth. All right, let's go, boys.
enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us.
We are the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
We are the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and we are richly blessed.
Go serve, go be the love.